to Versus Character Card.
What's up and welcome to Versus Character Cards, the Versus show without the verses. In this show, instead of analyzing two fighters and discovering who wins in a fight to the death via research, we are only going to cover a single character. And then you can study this if you ever use this character for your Versus show, basically like a respect thread in video form. And be sure to stay tuned so you can see who we are covering next. But for today, we are covering Negan from The Walking Dead. So far, all of the characters we analyzed in Versus Character Cards have surpassed nuclear levels of power and lightning speeds. So I think it's about time we freshen things up and cover someone a bit more grounded. Well, grounded in comparison to that. Because Negan I found to be a lot stronger than you think. So let's take a look at The Walking Dead's bat-wielding thug. I don't know why Negan is the way that he is. He's been a troublemaker since the start, apocalypse or not. He loved dogs as a kid, but one day brought home a dog so bad that it killed all the others and bit off part of his mom's ear. He was a gym teacher, but would often tease and belittle his students. He had a beautiful wife named Lucille, who he fell head over heels for, but then he was unfaithful to her and lied to her and all that stuff. The guy's got problems, but he got a wake-up call when Lucille got cancer. He showed remorse and regret for everything he had done, and he sadly had to watch her pass away as the apocalypse began. When Lucille came back as a walker, Negan just couldn't bring himself to put her down. An act of weakness that would haunt him forever. Lucille was his strength, so shortly after he picked up a baseball bat, modded it with barbed wire, and named it after her so he could carry his strength with him wherever he went. And with this strength, along with everything else he had, he was able to take over groups, form the Saviors, and give The Walking Dead's protagonists a run for their money. Like I said, Negan's weapon of choice is Lucille, a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. It has the raw power to bash people's skulls in, and then the grip to yank off whatever he breaks. Many characters in The Walking Dead are able to withstand a bullet or even a couple stab wounds, but Negan has shown that Lucille is powerful enough to take down many foes within a single hit. Negan's dedication to Lucille grants him a great strength, but also a great weakness. If anyone does anything to that bat, or even lays a finger on it, Negan will charge them out of anger just to get it back. He'll burst through walls, run through fire, whatever it takes. He gains unrestrained power through his fury, but as you can imagine, this also has put him in some risky situations. Despite what that may lead you to believe though, Negan's other great strength is his intelligence. Yeah, he has a knife too, and an assault rifle. But even the damage those do pale in comparison to how much harm Negan can cause mentally. Before I get into that though, I must give the mandatory spoiler warning. For this video, I caught myself up on the most recent season of the series, so I will have to spill some beans, or as Eugene would say, I must declassify this information that has occurred in recent events. You have been warned. Now thanks to Negan's confidence and charisma alone, he was able to take over several groups and form the Saviors. But over time, the Saviors grew to an army of several hundred, and despite him being just a gym teacher, he was able to manipulate and control this army well enough to trap our protagonists before they even got a chance to meet him face to face. He toyed with them, traumatized them, and hit all the right spots to make even the fearless Rick Grimes cower and beg for mercy before him. And when Negan finally got caught and imprisoned for nearly a decade, he would still find ways to break out of his cell by manipulating others or just finding his own way out, and he would only return of his own free will. Nobody was able to find him or bring him back on their own. He was even able to kill the group's biggest threat, Alpha, within a matter of days. Even when Alpha knew that Negan was from the same group as her enemies, he was able to gain her trust with no effort at all. He's manipulative, he's an escape artist, and he knows how to get under anyone's skin, or in anyone's head. But brains aren't the only thing he has, he's packing some power too. Like I said repeatedly, Negan's baseball bat Lucille is powerful enough to crush people's skulls, like when he killed Abraham and Glenn, which enraged everyone. But I don't think Lucille is solely responsible. Negan had to have been putting in lots of his own strength too, considering he did the same thing to Brandon with just a rock, which enraged nobody. Even without his bat or any weapons, Negan is able to physically surpass most of his opponents due to his tall and lumbering figure. He was even able to take down a mini horde of walkers completely by himself. I'd show you, but this happens off screen unfortunately. But trust me, it happens. It's no surprise anyway, since Negan has physically outmatched much fresher walkers before. These walkers can bite through flesh like chicken and rip people and animals apart like they're paper. But none of these walkers compare to what gave this video its extremely ominous title. So let's dive into that. It's Negan's greatest rival, Rick Grimes. Now, what's so special about this Rick Grimes? Though, nothing too much. Negan just fought with him to a draw a couple times. Oh, and he happened to survive this? Yeah, I noticed that looked a little crazy, so I had a friend in my server calculate. A dude by the name of Ghost Hunt Boy measured Rick, compared him to the size of the bridge, and compared all that to the size of the explosion, and was able to find that that was about 0.3 tons of TNT. Now, of course, being behind a decimal, that doesn't sound like a big number, but it's actually enough to destroy a building. Not a skyscraper, of course, but pretty much anyone's house or even a whole Walmart would be taken care of with that explosion. And Rick was able to survive this despite already being on the verge of death from bleeding out for hours beforehand. So yeah, I think that says a lot about Negan's own strength from being able to physically match him. He's got a couple impressive subsonic to supersonic speed feats too. He's moved in tandem with bullets, narrowly avoiding them, and even blocked a point-blank gunshot from Rosita. And he was paying attention, so that was no accident either. Overall, I think all of this combined is enough to show you that Negan is a lot stronger than you thought. Don't bring a gun to a bat fight.
You know what? I do not accept your apology.
Time for the conclusion segment. In conclusion, yes, once again, Negan is stronger than you think. And because of these newfound stats, Negan's, Rick's, and the rest of the Walking Dead's cast's most popular matchups, they probably win. Frank West from Capcom's Dead Rising, Joel from The Last of Us, Negan's clobbering them all. Don't get me wrong though, he still loses some of his matchups, like the Scout from Team Fortress 2. While Negan may be able to equal or even surpass his strength and his intelligence, Scout's overwhelming speed and arsenal would take care of him in a snap. But now Negan even wins the matchup I had for him, against Sam Puckett from iCarly with her butter sock. Lucille versus the butter sock. What do you think, huh? But you get the point. Negan's a beast. Now let's see who's next.
Next time on Versus Character Cards, it's Poe from Kung Fu Panda.